Hi Virgo, this is Jill and welcome to Tarot by the Sea. I'm going to do you a weekly reading from, well, the first week of November. I've decided to do weeklies because the fortnightly ones, the bi-weeklies, take absolutely forever to do because the story is just far more complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do you weekly using the Gilded Tarot, and then I'm going to go and do a monthly with the Wisdom of the Oracle. And then this month as well, I'm going to do a Halloween one. And that will be one card for every month from this Halloween to next Halloween. So that should be exciting. Right, so let's have a look and see what we've got. First of all, I was going to actually do Scorpio first. But my lovely friend Emma got a merit for her master's degree. So we went out last night. And she said, "Will you do mine first?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I will." So, well done, Emma. Very proud of you. She knows I'm very proud of her. Right, so we're going to do 6 cards. I think we're going to do 6 cards. I've done you 2 readings already. Couldn't get the sound right. Doing the readings is easy. It's technology that's a nightmare. And this happened the last time too. And they're the same cards. You are having... They're not the same cards in the sense that they've all fallen out together. They are the same cards, but in a completely different order. So everything was coming... you may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. There might be an awful lot going on at once. Or you might be seeing a lot of people, or a lot of people might be asking you for a lot of stuff at the moment. Got 2 more cards to get out for you. They're a little bit slow. I'm not using all those. No, absolutely not. 2 more. 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. That one. And again, that card came out too. So out of 5 cards, I've done you 2 readings already. Out of 5 cards, 4 of them have already come out in your previous readings. They're just in a different order. And yep, that one did too. So out of 5 cards, you have got, out of 6 cards, you've got 5 cards that have come up in your previous readings. So there's obviously something to be said for that. So the first card that you have is the 7 of Pentacles. Then you have the Chariot. Previously though, these all came up in reverse. Then you have the Hermit, which is your card, Virgo. Then this is the one that hasn't come up before, which is the Fool. Okay, but in the last reading that I did for you, you got halfway through the week, and this is your 4th card. And you kind of just went, yeah, and you came out of this period of just not giving a, just not caring, shall we say, just not giving a damn. Okay, and then we have this, the 4 of Wands, and then we have this, which came up in a different place. It's a 5 of Cups. Now that surprises me because in your last reading, the end of the week was quite good. Let's play it as it is. We'll see what comes out. Okay, so we have the 7 of Pentacles. So you're waiting for your harvest to come in, okay? You have been tending your little pentacle tree very carefully, and it's starting to grow fruit. So maybe finances are looking good. Maybe, like Emma, you've been working really, really hard and you've just got your master's degree. Maybe you have just done a qualification. Maybe you have got a new job in the offing. I don't think you've started it yet because you're still waiting to pick your fruit. So maybe you've just qualified for a new job, or maybe you've applied for jobs, but you haven't got it yet. Or maybe you have got it, but you haven't started it yet. So there's a period of waiting, okay? So that's at the beginning of the week. That's the energy that you're coming in with. So maybe you're waiting for something. The second card that you have is the Chariot, which means as the week starts to progress, so maybe Monday, Tuesday, you do start to move forward. There is some movement forward. So maybe if you've applied for a job, maybe you will hear back. Maybe you will hear back. But again, I've got this Hermit card, and the Hermit card is usually a period of introspection. I don't know whether it is in this case. It's feeling a bit like a work spread rather than a relationship spread. Or a life spread rather than the relationship spread. There's no love in here. There's not a single, well, there is one cups card, but it's not a good one. So yeah, I'm not getting the feeling this is about introspection, this Hermit card. I think, though it could be, maybe you get offered something, but maybe it's not quite what you want. Maybe you want this gold one and you've actually been offered the silver one. So you're kind of looking, if you look at her face, if you can see it, she's kind of looking like, you what? She's a little bit shocked. She's a bit like, really? So maybe you're having to think about it. Maybe you're having to think about it and you're thinking, don't know if I want it. And then you just decide to go for it anyway. It could be a relationship. It could be you've met someone and maybe you start chatting, and maybe they're not what you were expecting. And you think, should I go for it? Maybe, maybe not. But then you decide to. Okay, you decide to go for whatever it is. And then you have the Four of Wands. And you're quite happy, you're quite stable. Seems like it was a pretty good choice. It could give you stability. This is my feeling, it could give you stability. There is potential for stability there. You don't tend to go straight from the Fool to the Four of Wands, because this is about being quite secure and family-like and all that kind of stuff. It's not Ten of Cups, but Four of Wands is quite stable. So you don't tend to jump from there to there. So there's something getting in the way, and I wonder whether it might be this. So you've got your Five of Cups, and maybe you're kind of crying over spilt milk. So maybe that you're looking at this job and you're thinking, oh, this relationship, and you're thinking, well, yeah, it's got potential, but it's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. So you've given it a go. You've given it a go, but it's not what you want. And you still think, you see, you've got the two behind you, so this is possibly the potential, the opportunity you've been given is behind you, but you're not looking at it, you're still looking at the front, the spilt ones, and you're like, it's not what I want. And this is why, look, this is on the bottom of your deck, so you've got the Devil, okay? There is something you are bound to. There is something you are bound to, and underneath that, you had the Ten of Cups. Okay, we just mentioned the Ten of Cups, and I just said this is the Four of Wands, and it's not the Ten of Cups. And maybe you had the Ten of Cups, and you were left out in the cold by someone. And maybe that's why you're feeling like this. So the opportunity that you've been offered, yeah, you've still got other opportunities, you've got things growing, and you're being offered stuff, but it's just not floating your boat. It's just, you're feeling like this guy rather than this guy, really. So you're giving this a go, you're putting a brave face on and you're giving it a go, and you're getting this, but that's not this, okay? And you're still tied to whatever that was. You're still bound to it. So my sense is that whatever this is, you may go forward with it. You may go forward with it, you may not. And if you're going forward with it, you're not really going forward with it. My sense is just like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to try these cards. These are new cards that I bought the other day, called the Keepers of the Light. And let's see if we can just get you a a nice guidance card. They're really pretty cards. They're a little bit like the angel cards. Who they by? Artwork by, so they're by Kyle Gray, and the artwork is by Lily Moses. They're pretty cards. Let's get you an oracle card and see if we can give you something to cheer you up a little bit and give you a little bit of advice. Okay. So can you give me a little bit of advice for Virgo for the first week of November? I mean, it could be that you're already in a job. Maybe you got offered something else, but you're kind of bound to what you were in. Maybe you've got to give notice and the other people have gone, yeah, we're not willing to wait. Maybe you've been offered a fantastic new project, but you can't take it because you're already tied up with something else. It sounds like you're already committed to something, so you can't actually move on at this point. Even though you've been working really hard, and you may have the opportunity to, but you just can't because you're bound to it. You're bound to something else. Come on, keepers of the light. Who's looking after Virgo for us? Ooh. I think they're having a bit of a squabble as to who's looking after you, because the cards all kind of went a bit crazy then. Okay, we have one. We have Freya, phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. Okay, let's see what Freya's got to say. I will read it to you. I'm feeling a little bit for you, Virgo. You're a little bit like, yeah, whatever. Freya, which means lady, is the Norse goddess of the moon and love. She's a twin flame of Odin and the warrior goddess who offers deep spiritual and physical protection for those who call on her. Maybe you are bound to a soulmate or twin flame, so no one else is doing it for you. She will stand before you with her shield and spear, keeping you safe from harm. She works closely with moon energy and helps us to recognize our life as a cycle that is always changing. She herself is the maiden, the mother, and the crone of all women, and guides them through the wisdom these cycles bring. We all go through phases and cycles of growth, and Freya is the energy that supports this. She has a raven spirit totem, which is said to represent a capacity to travel between heaven and earth. The extended message is, a phase of your life may be coming to an end. But it's important to acknowledge that it's not the end. When one door closes, another opens. You may have been desperate for change, but now it's here you feel vulnerable. Know that the mighty goddess Freya will guide you. Illusions are now being revealed so you can leave behind anything that is false, step into your peaceful warrior-like energy, and welcome the changes you deserve. Tie up all the loose ends and take heart. This is an exciting time. So I think what Freya's basically saying to you is that you're going to have to try and overcome this, okay? Whatever the situation is, you're going to have to try and overcome it. Yes, you had the Ten of Cups, okay, but you were left out in the cold. And as I've heard another person say in a reading that I was listening to earlier today, someone leaves you out in the cold once, they're probably going to do it again. Okay? So you need to get over this. Okay? You're not going to go straight from this to this. It's not even possible to go from this to this. Okay? There is potential for it, but there is also potential for that eventually if you give something a chance. So don't get hung up on the past, Virgo, okay? The other option is if something's worth a go, if you're still hung up on that, if you're still hung up on it and it means that much to you, see what you can do. If you've been left out in the cold and you really need to know where you stand, if someone's left you out in the cold, the other option is just do something about it, okay? Don't just sit there, do something about it. If it matters that much to you, if it's affecting your life this much that you're turning down good offers, yeah, you need closure on it. So maybe get in touch with someone if they've left you out in the cold. maybe just bite the bullet, say sod it, get in touch with them. And if they do it again, you may have two options. They may do this again, okay? Or you might get this. If you had this once, you could have it again. Or you could get this again. It's up to you. Depends on how brave you are. Virgo, that was your relationshipy bit. Work-wise, looking good, okay? It may feel a little bit okay, but you have got loads of growth, okay? You have got loads of growth. I'm okaying again today. And you have got the Four of Wands. So whatever this is, whatever this new start is, it has got potential, but you just need to snap out of it, okay? I love you lots and lots and lots. I will put the November readings up as soon as I've done the weeklies. Okay, and I will speak to you at Halloween if I don't speak to you before. Okay, bye-bye.